it opens up because there's no house is gonna be in that low lying area.
Okay, my question is, if you got high over here, where that street that goes off to, behind the Peñas and Texaloid, and he's flooding, channel where? The
Well,
181
it
is
runs
high,
south. Every bit of it
where?
runs, every
You
bit
know,
of it actually
and then
runs
you got the
north
subdivision
through this
behind
property. He
us,
recedes every bit
that's
of it.
high, it's a bowl, you know.
See,
and
I'm actually collecting all y'all's water on my property. It can't go backwards, and he's receiving all the
They got
drainage.
water.
Well, right now it can go backwards, but when you build up.
No, it's not gonna
that's
get built up, that's the thing, and you can look at the plans by what the current elevations are and
I just don't
see that that's
how
what
it's
it
gonna
is.
work.
And you're proposing to take care of that with that drainage
Yes,
ditch?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
If that drainage just didn't
He's
work
got
before,
reports
what's
showing
gonna
all that.
work now?
Where does it empty?
So do we have there?
This is where he's talking about coming in, and this is getting cut out, because there's really no
Where's it
channel
gonna
there now.
go? It's just gonna flood him all to pieces.
No, ma'am, it's dispersing out throughout here. He's got a channel that runs around this way from the back, he's receiving water this way on his property. You can see this way it runs around, but he's getting watershed all this way. Mine's gonna distribute through the low-lying area here, which is actually not very existent when you look at it over the.
If you ever gone back there, Teddy, to the Texaloid, it's high.
Yeah, y'all have seen.
Here,
Right,
here your
and all
current
that,
elevations.
all
And this is what it shows.
They're
When
saying
you look at
they're
this,
getting the thick floor water,
all of this,
and then now,
he's actually,
Well, here's nothing
see
changed.
how this stays so flat? There's very little elevation in here, all of this. You're looking at a foot difference in elevation over,
When it
almost 5
drains, it
acres.
drains out this way, right?
correct. What I'm
That's
doing,
where he lives.
no, he lives up in here, but
Well,
what
he
he's
has
getting
his
is a
3
collection.
acres.
Correct.
It goes back here.
You can show him this picture. I think it's gonna end up in my property.
The building he's talking about is sitting about
Exactly.
right, well, it's actually sitting right
Gotta
here.
get it.
Sits right across, there's his house, there's my house
Right,
right
this
there.
building right here is what he's talking about. Right here where that tree is,
That's
right,
all it-
right behind that tree is the building he's talking about.
Well, But it,
It just
You
forces
should-
fill my
It's
property.
very hard to, yeah, it's still gonna be on your property, correct? But what this does is it cleans it up and shoots it through one location rather than having it run willy-nilly throughout the entire property. It's got a forced direction to it now.
Yeah, but it still gets backed up at the culvert. The culvert can't handle that amount of water as it is. Now you're pushing it through faster. And you've made all this impermeable. So now there's no place for that to drain.
Well, it's actually not gonna be impermeable. The only surface that's impermeable is right here. These two low
You don't have
areas.
any roads?
Right here and right here.
So you have a circle road and you have, the houses are built on some sort of platform?
No, they're not built on platforms.
So there's no concrete underneath the mobile homes?
Correct.
Okay, that doesn't meet HUD requirements. but
they're
okay.
not, they don't have.
Okay. But still, when you build that in there, you still have to put some solid dirt in there, it's not saying.
My point is, it looks like it's just gonna flood you all to pieces.
It is.
You would have to actually take a physical look at it and understand why what we're talking about is correct. He's done, the engineers have done the calculations on this, based on that. You know, it's more than adequate, but I'm
I
not
think it's
the,
adequate to drain this, and you won't flood, but if all the water's going there, that's where he lives.
and what I'm telling you, the reason he's getting that is you would have to see where the bulk of his, he would actually have to have a survey done to show his watershed. The bulk of it's not coming from his property. He's getting a large portion here that is draining into here,
You're
and
just
this,
gonna add to it.
I'm not gonna add to it, I'm gonna decrease it. It will flow more effectively and more efficiently rather than him getting
The
a
engineers
surge of
don't
water
live
coming
there.
through there.
You're not reducing the amount of water, you're just channeling the water.
Correct, it's not reducing the
But
amount.
you're channeling it to the same place where the city and the state, nobody wants to take ownership of cleaning that culvert past predicts.
If I don't touch it, it's not gonna, if I don't touch it, it's not gonna improve. If I do touch it, it will improve. That's the only two options.
Who's gonna clean it? City doesn't wanna do it, TxDOT doesn't wanna do it.
Did you've gotten the permit from TxDOT as well?
Correct.
And from what I understand, TxDOT does not issue permits if they know that it's gonna be a problem,
Correct.
flooding into their roads.
That's correct.
Which is
Absolutely, they've done every bit of that, the engineers have calculated, everything's been done. That's what I'm saying, you've got multiple engineers backing this up already, saying that this is more than adequate.
Like I said, the engineers don't live there.
That's not,
See,
that's not my issue.
Yeah,
So
you
your-
don't care,
your
it's not your
engineers
problem.
planned it.
you
But
gotta
here's
get
what
all that
I'm telling you, I'm not increasing volume. If anything, I'm making it more efficient. There's no detrimental aspect of what I'm doing here. Absolutely zero. It's a positive impact in every way.
So the water's gonna divert to another culvert? Or to that same culvert that we're
It's
talking
gonna jump
about?
the street.
But I'm not collecting additional water from what's being already channeled.
He's gonna cut a channel through my property because he's gonna speed the water up into a smaller area. And I'll have a big cut through my property if it still gets stopped down there. And that will be a lot more dirt being pushed.
Yeah, but nobody's gonna clean this.
Nope.
Nobody's done it in the last 5 years, nobody's gonna do it in the next 5 years. And he just said he doesn't care because that's not his problem.
Okay, folks. Thank you, Alvin. I appreciate your input. And what I'm seeing here is that for myself, I would like to get more professional advice. You're an engineer, I'm sorry. I don't know how the rest of the board, how the rest of y'all feel.
I'm uncomfortable with the drainage.
But
And we next up to explain the thing.
at this point, what I'd rather do is table this item, and I know it's gonna be another meeting, but these folks deserve, and we need to see more. I'd like to see more before I proceed with making a decision. And it's hard to dispute some photos and life experiences, okay? These folks, that's their, let's call it dad, and let's see, Mr. Flores, right? So it's been for over a generation. Anyway, if it's all right with you, what I'd like to do is table this. Cindy can set up another meeting.
Do we want a special meeting?
I would think so, unless
I don't think really, because council's out till November, Linda's addressing it.
Council's out till when?
still they decide whenever.
Till November?
That's not official, that's until they decide to come back and have a forum.
Yeah.
No, I thought you said that there wasn't.
Yeah.
When was the next city council meeting scheduled for?
Next week.
Thursday,
Oh,
tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow?
no. Tomorrow's a special meeting. Tomorrow's a
All right.
special meeting. The next regular meeting is next Thursday.
Next week.
So, if y'all want to do that, but I feel like we have an engineer at the next meeting, these folks should be here. I'd like for them to see, I'd like the engineer explain that.
Who's paying for the engineer, may I ask? If y'all are gonna hire an engineer to come in,
He's
you know, do y'all have a resident engineer?
There's Mr. Heimer is a city engineer.
Oh, okay, I'm just wondering.
City. Now, you can ask the question more directly. Is he gonna charge specifically for being at this meeting? I don't know. I don't know whether he charges by the hour, retainer by the month, or a year, or what. But personally, I don't feel comfortable at this point to make a decision on that. But I can't make a motion. I could table this.
I make a motion to table this and the clarification on the actual law address and the report on the drainage and flood.
Okay, you guys are okay with that? We're going to table that. I'll treat it as a motion.
I second.
I told don't like it, just table it, you didn't have to move it.
Oh, we like moving.
Y'all move as much as y'all want. Motion by Mr. Vacon, seconded by Harley to table this. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion passes 4-0. This item is tabled. Cindy, if you could just let us know. You have their numbers?
No,
Or do you have
and
to?
we already had the public meeting, so,
Yeah, I know.
they can come to the next planning and zoning, but I need to know when y'all want the next meeting.
We want to have a special meeting, is that what you're asking?
How
Or
long
for
is
the
it
next-
gonna take to get an engineer's report?
Well, he's already supplied you the report. If you want him to come in and talk to you and explaining, and then maybe seeing new evidence that Mr. Winston Schaefer has presented, it shouldn't take him that long, probably about a week or so.
Sure, why not?
So we're going to work the special meeting.
2 weeks.
So we're looking at another Wednesday. September 19th? September 19th, we'll have the special meeting, coming back with this proposed. Same time? Same time, 6:30. September 19th. You won't get notices because we've already done the public hearing, but we'll have that special.
Okay, next item of business is consideration and action to recommend a moratorium for a maximum of 18 months on all manufactured and RV trailer park applications within the city limits and the ETJ to allow P&Z to develop a comprehensive growth plan for the city of Floresville.
I asked for that to be put on the agenda because if you look at the city's master plan, it asks the P&Z to develop an expansion plan for the city. Right now we have unstructured growth and urban sprawl, and we do not have any plan on who's going where, with what, and when. We have contacted UTSA, and Chris Stewart, who's
He's a planning consultant.
planning consultant. We believe that, I believe that this will take at least 2 semesters to do. So I think we should have a moratorium on anything in the city limits or the ETJ for 18 months so that we can have a comprehensive growth plan. Now, whether it'll get passed by the city council or not is another thing. It's up to us to recommend this to the city council.
And you were able to talk to the professors or someone?
Yeah.
We're contacting him. Chris
Does
Stewart.
ACOG get it? I'm sorry. Does ACOG get it?
Actually,
But
that's
they've
where,
sent-
That's where we found
That's
it.
where we get
Chris
the-
Stewart said that he works with UTSA in doing these plans he has.
They've just been moving hard to get hold of this week. There will be a cost to this. There's some need to go before the city council.
Oh, yeah.
It will cost X thousands of dollars. But if you read the master plan, it's pretty specific on what we should do with the city center, what we should do with industrial areas, new subdivisions coming in. Right now, we just throw them up anyway. There's no plan. There's no say, no, you can't put a subdivision there because that's.
But it puts it on P&Z to
develop.
That's what
Right.
we're proposing. So the moratorium would give us a chance
Just
as
breathe.
P&Z so that we can get a plan that's suitable for the majority. And make, it should make our job a little bit.
because you have a direction.
Yeah.
I believe. The lessons I did this week.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
because you're going so fast in applications for mobile home parks, trailer parks, and 2 years later, well, we really wanted to put some commercial there, and then we don't have a plan. And it's going to take at least a year, which is why I said 18 months, to get a comprehensive plan accepted and then put into place. That's going to make our life a lot easier.
So how would you approach this? Obviously, Stopper wanted to develop it. They would come for us, we would discuss.
We would work with
They would interview, just like they did for this master plan. They would do it with P&Z and probably FEDC, city managers, you know, and do their investigations and interviews.
From what I understand, they were saying that with these kids, I say kids because they're in college, once we take them in to do the study or the plan, they'll go and interview schools, all our schools, the hospitals, appraisal offices, and they get like demographics. And how many people between the ages of here that between 18 and 35 live here, 35, you know, like that.
No folks are in.
Yeah, and they see what's, and I guess I'll go by economic trend too. Everything, they're gonna throw everything. Traffic.
If you look at the expansion that's going on 181, always going in there, what that's going to
Or they
do.
can get.
Well, I think they're going to, what that's going to do to those land values and the possibility of a subdivision going like there and behind it. That may not be what we want. We may not want a subdivision stuck on 181 behind the forest. But we don't.
May not be able to grow.
Right. The idea of a growth plan will determine certain areas for expansion. Certain areas for expansion.
Like you can still have the quaint little town that we have downtown, all the
Right.
nice little historical stuff. But then the hustle, but you still want it to be
Industrial be out
moving.
on 537.
Exactly. And then your retail, you know, maybe using the arterial streets, like you got your main 181 and maybe C Street turning into commercial eventually someday.
There's a lot of junk along C Street. I know along the street.
We have to come up with a plan. When you look at the proposed expansion of Floresville to 8,000 next year, 10,000 within 3 years, those people are going to live somewhere.
Also, it will help us with our ETJ, our annex.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because I think
And
we're
it's a
going to have to
proposal that
address
if
that.
the committee takes it up and it goes before city and they agree, then we can start working on it. But until the city council.
And the problem that we're facing now is we're playing catch up. So that all this stuff coming in and we're just barely catching up. That's what we're doing.
But we'll get, when we get with him, we'll have a dollar amount. Because I know, I did ask him at ACOG, and there was a range. So when we sit down and talk to him, and get our,
What's the rate?
it started at 10.
It's good. That's, you know, I don't care if
That's
it's
actually
double
not
that.
bad, really.
It's not. I mean, if it was double that, you're talking about the future of Floresville for the next 20 years.
So I don't know what we ended up paying for the master plan.
Yeah, no, that's been kept pretty quiet. I don't know either.
Client, I mean,
I
I've
heard
seen,
$19,000, but
I've seen some from other cities,
They're not cheap.
they're in, you know,
They're not cheap.
40, 50.
Yeah,
right.
So,
they're not cheap.
so,
Using the facilities of UTSA
Should
keep that cost down and still have it overseen by people so that we can
Uses
do
them.
development plan.
I think he uses them to, like you say, the demographics and the existing situations.
Obviously, that wouldn't affect things in the works like this. even if the city would approve it next week.
Yeah, because it's already
It's already been
submitted, yeah.
Something you can't grant on, or retro,
Yeah, unfortunately.
like retroactive.
But I will be happy to go in front of the council and explain my reasonings, our reasonings, I should say. I think it's the right way to go. I think we need a breathing room.
Any other questions?
No?
Should we possibly include those SOBs in there too?
We can, if you're concerned. I don't know off the top of my head, but she is right. You can't be so many feet away from church, school. I don't know if there's something about residential. I'd have to look into that, but she is correct.
There's no,
But
there is no ordinance now.
we do have, we have one.
But
We
it,
have SOB.
We do.
Yeah.
We have an
No, I'm
SOB.
not talking.
Yeah.
we have one
We're talking
here.
about-
Yes,
We're talking
it's
about.
in the zoning, it's under zoning.
Oh, we have an ordinance.
We have the ordinance.
I thought we had an SOB.
Oh, no, we have no SOBs, but, but if you look, I think it has to be a commercial property. So the only commercial property is Texaco and Falls. Everybody next to them is not.
I'm probably not going to be very popular by saying this, but a well-run, well-maintained,
SOB.
this sector-oriented business is not necessarily a bad thing. It's a lot better than the backstreet unlicensed places that you'll get. It's always the oldest business in the world, unknown. So,
In there, keep going.
Flag.
are you looking at SOBs?
There she got it. She got
Oh, page 60.
Okay.
Don't curate a theater.
it. Those are definitions.
Oh, okay.
Those are all definitions.
Well, let's address the one issue.
Yeah, let's.
Anyway,
address this 'cause
Well,
we
do you
got-
want to include those in there?
No.
Well, we don't have that problem here
Well,
yet.
simply because
We'll leave that to
The
code.
brick. Leave that to.
you asked a question, I gave you an answer.
City of Pope.
Yeah, I think life is going to get
Yes.
one.
Yes.
Okay, I like the idea.
R1, R2.
That's something I was hoping for, you, not this, so we part the,
So Phil, you're gonna be there next week?
Yes.
my only concern is that it be approached, with the community in mind, input.
Has to be.
Because I was hoping, when we did the when the master plan was done, I was hoping that would have been there, in there.
The only
And
way,
it didn't.
the only way you can develop a growth plan is to, first of all, get a skeleton, an outline of the plan, and then you hold a series of public meetings. And get everybody's input into it.
Right.
And, because it affects it affects people who own land around there, even though you're not going to be able to do commercial on there, you know. So you need at least probably 3 or 4 public hearings on it, and then gather that input. And
That takes a while. That's true.
that's why I got 18 months.
18 months.
Because,
They've got to be available to do it.
mhm.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Come on.
I'll do it. I make a motion to recommend a moratorium for a maximum of 18 months on all manufacturing RV trailer park applications within the city limits and the extraterritorial jurisdiction to allow the Planning and Zoning Commission to develop a comprehensive growth plan for the city of Floresville.
Is there a second?
I second.
Motion by Mr. Matameo, seconded by Ms. Harley to, item number 2, as read. Any, comments? Board?
So who's gonna be at the meeting next week? Philip?
We'll go first.
Robert?
Nobody else will be there either.
Right, no, I'll be on.
So
We gotta hope there is a meeting.
Yes.
so all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes 4-0. And it is, what is that? 7:30?
7:32.
7:30. We're adjourned.